Good morning, happy welcome back. How are you? It's time to read the Bible. So, get your keep you alive juice or your keep other people alive juice. Today, I have keep me alive juice. It's got all my fruits and vitamins. They make this energy drink water. It's flat, right? It seems like it's bubbly. It's it's like one of those terrible LaCroix waters, but with energy drink in it. It's flat and it tastes bad. But I mix it with tonic water and quinine, with lots of fruit, and it's still flat. But we're drinking it because that's all my vitamins. Oh shit! Yeah, did you take your pills? Because I did not take mine. So hold on. Let me go. Let's take our pills. So press pause right now and take your pills. Okay. Did you take your pills now? Did I take? Hold on. There's one I missed. 1 second. Okay. Got it. Where's I? Okay. So I guess let's make friends with Antiochus or Ptolemy. Hold on. So Alexander, son of Antiochus, so this must be Antiochus II, took up Ptolemy in this Egypt. They accepted him as king, and he began to reign there. Who, though? When King Demetrius heard of it, he mustered a very large army and marched out to engage him in battle. Okay, and Demetrius sent a letter to Jonathan, written in peaceful terms, to exalt him, right? And he said, "Let us be the first to make peace with him before he makes peace with Alexander against us." Who? Since he will remember all the wrong things we have done to him, his brothers, and his nation. Demetrius authorized him to gather an army and procure arms as his ally. And he ordered that the hostages in the citadel be released to him. Accordingly, Jonathan went to Jerusalem and read the letter to all the people and all those in the citadel. They were struck with fear when they heard the king told them to gather an army. Those in the citadel released the hostages to Jonathan, and he gave them back to their parents. Therefore, Jonathan dwelt in Jerusalem and began to build and restore the city. He ordered those doing the work to build walls, encircle Mount Zion with square stones for its fortification. The foreigners in the strongholds that Bacchus had built took flight. All of them left their places and returned. Only in Bezur did some remain of those who had abandoned the law and the commandments, for it was a place of refuge. Come on. Come on. Are you gonna sit still this time? So the foreigners left, and Bezer did some remain of those who had abandoned the law. Okay, so the Jews that didn't want to be Jews stayed, for it was a place to take refuge. Alexander heard of Blue, damn it. Alexander heard of the promises that Demetrius made to Jonathan. He was also told of the battles and brave deeds Jonathan and his brothers, and of the troubles they had encountered. Since she wants to get up here and lay until I gotta move. But I bet as soon as I'm done with this, she'll be back up here laying like a baby. Okay. King Alexander heard the promises that he had made to Jonathan. And he heard about everything that had happened to Jonathan. And he said, shall we ever find another man like him? All right, he's going to be our friend. Watch. So he sent a letter to Jonathan written in these terms. Dear Jonathan, King Alexander says, what's up? We heard that you are a mighty warrior and worthy to be our friend. We have, therefore, appointed you today to be high priest of your nation. You are to be called king's friend, and you are to look after our interests and preserve friendship with us. He also sent him a purple robe and a crown of gold. Look at that! Yeah! What Alexander is this? Jonathan put on the sacred vestments in the 7th month. Okay, so this is going to be July. In July, remember, celebration, July 10th. And this is, so he put it on in July, year 106. At the Feast of Booths. Okay, so this is July 10th. And he gathered an army and procured many weapons. Yeah, here we go. All right. 1 second. Okay, so a letter from Demetrius to Jonathan. When Demetrius heard these things, he was distressed and said, why have we allowed Alexander to get ahead of us by gaining the friendship of the Jews and strengthening himself? Like the fuck, dude? What happened? I too will write them with encouraging words and offer on honors and gifts so that they support me. So he sent them this message. King Darius says, what's up? We have heard how you have kept the treaty with us and continued in our friendship and not gone to our enemies, and we are glad. Yeah, the only reason you even have a friendship is because Rome spanked that ass. So, like, it's not really a treaty because, like, not to stick up for the Jews or anything because they're terrible people. But Demetrius, they're not your friend because they want to be. You kind of made them. Like, that was more like a forceful friendship. It was probably like a friendship with me because I'm overbearing. But I come from a line of really strong and loud women. So I'm a very strong and loud woman. Remember when we were reading the Proverbs? I'm a contentious and vexing woman. We asked Dustin, remember? So, King Demetrius, he forced these people to be his friend. So I asked Dawson that sometimes. Like, did I force you to be my boyfriend? I feel like maybe I might have forced you. And he said, you think you can force me? I said, have you met me? Okay, you didn't do our enemies. Continue, therefore, to keep faith with us, and we will reward you with favors in return for what you do in our behalf. Really? Really? I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Who is Alexander king of? Okay. We will grant you many exemptions and bestow gifts on you. Not because we want to, but just because, you're Jews. There's a lot of you. For a terrible, terrible. I now free you. You should have freed him first. I now free you and exempt all the Jews from tribute, the salt tax, and the crown levies. Oh, this guy. What's this guy doing? Blech. You should have freed him the first time. In the first letter. This should have happened in the first letter. There would be no Alexander. But then again, maybe there would be because Demetrius. They had to go to the Romans like, and this guy. Instead of collecting the third of the grain and half of the fruit, they should be my share. Instead of collecting a third and a half that should be my share, I renounce the right from this day forward. Neither now or in the future will I collect from the land of Judah or from the 3 districts annexed from Samaria. Oh, that's so nice of you, King Face. Oh, you're so sweet. Let Jerusalem and her territory, her tithes and tolls be sacred and free from tax. You think, you dumb fuck? Listen, you should have did this first. Why didn't you do this first? Okay. We're gonna do it. I also yield my authority over the citadel in Jerusalem, and I transfer it to the high priest, that he may put in it such men as he shall choose to guard it. This guy, why? Whoa! You should have did this first. Why didn't he do this first? Every Jew who has been carried into captivity from the land of Judah into any part of my kingdom, I set at liberty without ransom, and let all their taxes, even those on their cattle, be canceled. Why are you doing this for this people? And you should have did it first. They should not have. Okay. Let all feast days, Sabbaths, new moon festivals. Where did this come from? We're going to try to find it in Exodus, because I don't know where this came from. Appointed days, and the 3 days that succeed each feast day, and the 3 days that follow, be days of immunity and exemption for all Jews in my kingdom. When did this happen? Their parties last like 2 weeks long, dude. So they get 2-week festivals and then 3 days. When does that become a thing? When was a thing? That wasn't a thing. Oh, here's Blue again. No one will have authority to exact payment for them, or to harass any of them in any matter. Why didn't you send this first? Let 30,000 Jews be enrolled in the king's army, and allowances be given to them as is due all the king's soldiers. Listen, this guy really wants to. He really wants to do things, doesn't he? Let some be given positions. No. This is such a bad idea. Do you know what happens in the future? These people can't be trusted. All right, let them be. Let them be given positions of trust in the affairs of the kingdom. Let their supporters and their rulers be chosen from among them, and let them follow their own laws as the king has commanded in the land of Judah. Let the 3 districts that have been added to Judea from the province of Samaria be annexed to Judea, that they may be under one rule and obey no other authority than the high priest. Yeah, but they have a king. Ptolemy and its confines I give. Okay, Ptolemy is a place, not a person. I thought there was some kind of dude named Ptolemy. I give it as a present to the sanctuary in Jerusalem for the necessary expense of the sanctuary. I make a yearly personal grant of $15,000 out of the revenue taken from appropriate places. All the traditional funds that the officials did not hand over as they had done in the first years shall henceforth be handed over for the services of the temple. Moreover, the dues of $5,000 that used to be taken from the revenue of the sanctuary shall be canceled, since these funds belong to the priests who perform the services. Why is it Gentiles know the rules better than the Jews? Just want to know. Because the Jews don't ever follow these rules. All who take refuge in the temple or in any of its precincts because of the money they owe the king or because of any other debt shall be released. Together with all the goods they possess in my kingdom. The cost of rebuilding and restoring the structures of the sanctuary shall be covered out. Okay, it's going to be paid by the royal money. Likewise, the cost of building the walls of Jerusalem and fortifying it all around, and of building walls in Judea shall be donated from the royal revenue. Why? Why? These people in the future turn out terrible. This was a bad idea. Okay. Okay. When Jonathan and the people heard these words, they neither believed or accepted them. They remembered the great evil that Demetrius had done in Israel and the great tribulation he had brought upon them. We'll just call that for future deeds. This is preemptive punishment. They, therefore, decided in favor of Alexander, for he had been the first to address them peaceably. See, that's what I'm saying. Demetrius should have did it first. And they remained his allies for the rest of his life. Then King Alexander gathered together a large army, and they encamped opposite Demetrius. The two kings joined battle. When the army of Demetrius fled, Alexander pursued him and overpowered his soldiers. Yay, spank that evil ass. Whoa, spank it. He pressed the battle hard until sunset. Demetrius fell that day. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, it's working. Okay, here we go. Treaty of Ptolemy and Alexander. Okay, I thought Ptolemy was a person, and he was the king of Egypt. I don't know up there why he said you have control of Ptolemy. So he has control of the king of Egypt, I guess. So King Alexander sent him this message. Now that I have returned to my realm and taken my seat on the throne of my ancestors and established my rule by crushing Demetrius and gaining control of my country, something's missing. For I engaged him in battle, and his army were crushed by us. Okay, his army was crushed by us. See, I thought that was a weird word to put in that place. And we assumed his royal throne. Something's missing. Let us now establish friendship with each other. Give me now your daughter for my wife, and your son in law. And as your son in law, I will give to you and her gifts worthy of you. King Ptolemy answered and said, Happy the day on which you return to the land of your ancestors and took your seat on the throne. I will do for you what you have written. Meet me in Ptolemy. Okay, so that is a place. So that we may see each other. And I will become your father-in-law as you have proposed. Oh my God, it is King Alexander. Okay, so this is Alexander, not the other one. It's this one. So Ptolemy, with his daughter Cleopatra, set out from Egypt and came to Ptolemy in the 162nd year. Okay. There, King Alexander met him, and Ptolemy gave him Cleopatra in marriage. Their wedding was celebrated at Ptolemy with great splendor, according to the custom of the kings. King Alexander also wrote to Jonathan to come and meet him. So he went with pomp to Ptolemy's, where he met the two kings. Okay, so Jonathan has met the two kings and gave them and their friends silver, gold, and many gifts, thus won their favor. Yay, Jonathan! Yeah, Jonathan! Some villainous men of Israel, transgressors of the law, united against him to accuse him, but he paid no heed to them. The king ordered Jonathan to be divested of his garments and to be clothed in purple, and so it was done. So Jonathan got a pimp suit. Awesome. The king had him seated at his side. He said to his magistrates, Go with him to the center of the city and make a proclamation that no one is to bring charges against him on any grounds or be troublesome to him for no reason. So no one can talk shit about the king. When his accusers saw the honor paid to him, so they was talking shit about Jonathan. So he wrote to okay, go get him. So Jonathan met the two kings and gave them shit. Okay, and the villainous men of Israel started talking shit about Jonathan. That's what I'm saying. These people are nothing but jealous. They're jealous of even their own God. But okay. The king ordered John to wear a pimp suit. Okay. For any reason. They all fled. So the king honored him, enrolling him among his chief friends, and made him governor and chief of the province. So Jonathan returned in peace and happiness to Jerusalem. Okay, keep in mind, this goes until 80, so this is going to be kind of long, and I am so sorry, but we gotta know what happens. In the 165th year, okay, Demetrius, son of Demetrius, came from Crete. Crete came from Crete, the land of his ancestors. So isn't Crete in Greece? Let's find out. No. Where's my search bar? What the fuck? It's International Polar Bear Day. Are you gonna feed them and quit poisoning the water, you dumb fucks? Should clean up Fukushima. What were we looking for? Oh, where's Crete? And again, I know people might already know, but I do not know. Okay. Well, we'll just do it this way. Crete! Ah, it is in Greece. I knew that. Somebody just left their house. Okay. Then King Alexander heard of it, and he was greatly troubled and returned to Antioch. When I was a kid, I went to a church called Antioch Baptist Church. Again, I mostly went for the candy, because candy. Demetrius set Apollonius over Coelesyria. Having gathered a large army, Apollonius encamped at Jamnia, for there he sent his message to Jonathan. You are the only one who resists us. I am laughed at and put to shame. What? Demetrius. Okay, Demetrius did this, and he sent a message to Jonathan. I am laughed at and put to shame on your account. Why are you exercising authority against us in the mountains? If you have confidence in your forces, come to us in the plain and let us test each other's strength there. For the forces of the cities are on my side. Yes, that's what I keep saying. We have home field advantage. So no matter what's his ass decides, even if he's the one deciding, which probably is not, but President Face needs to remember we have home field advantage. Like they do over in Afghanistan, why nobody can take it over. They have home field advantage. Inquire and find out who I am and who the others are helping me. Oh, King Face, President Face. We know who. We know. Okay. Inquire who the fuck I is and who the others helping me are. People are saying that you can't do shit against us because your ancestors were twice put to flight. Yes, that's why they're not real Jews. Now you too will be unable to withstand our cavalry and such a force as this in the plain where there is not a stone or pebble or place to flee. And Jonathan heard all this shit talking and he was like, fuck this guy. Choosing 10,000 men, he set out from Jerusalem, and Simon, his brother, joined to help him. He encamped near Joppa. Okay, but the people shut him out because Apollonius had a garrison in Joppa. When they attacked it, the people of the city became afraid and opened the gates. So Jonathan was like, you're mine now, bitch. And when Apollonius heard of him, he drew up 3,000 cavalry. There was a large force of infantry. He marched towards Azotus as though he were going through. But at the same time, he was advancing into the plain because he had such a large number of cavalry to rely on. And Jonathan pursued him toward Azotus, and the enemies engaged in battle. So it's like zero tolerance must be issued forth behind the enemy's lines. That's Dimo Bulgaria. Apollonius, however, left 1,000 cavalry behind him. Jonathan discovered there was an ambush and his army was surrounded. From morning till evening, they showered on his troops. But his troops said, fuck this guy! And Jonathan commanded, while the enemy's horses became tired out. Then Simon brought forward his force, and engaging the phalanx in battle, since the cavalry were exhausted, the phalanx was crushed by him and fled. Take that, motherfucker! Yeah. While the cavalry, why can't I read? While the cavalry were scattered over the plain, they fled to Azotus and entered Beth Dagon, the temple of their idol, to save themselves. But Jonathan burned and plundered Azotus with its neighboring towns, destroyed by fire both the temple and those. Why in the Old Testament do they always burn everybody alive? They're always burning people alive. It's the most insane shit. Those who fell by the sword together with those who were burned came about 8,000. Then Jonathan left there and encamped at Ascalon, and the people of that city came to meet him with great pomp. Jonathan and those with him then returned to Jerusalem with much spoil. When Alexander heard of this, he accorded new honors to Jonathan. He said, "Hey, you took out that guy. Good job." And he sent him a gold buckle, which is usually given to the king's kin. He also gave him Ekron and all its territory as a possession. Yay! Yeah! We did it. Okay. So we actually hear about Alexander the Great. Hopefully, we can hear about the schools he set up for the little kids. I don't know. Hopefully, it says something about that because everybody calls him a child molester, and it's like, I don't think so. He gave him school. So, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you and have the greatest day ever.